Hi, I'm Katrina and I'm the maker and owner behind Rozu Moon Handmade Boutique. Welcome to a new vlog. I actually do have other things outside of the room. So it's time for our big reveal. I just got some great news that we just got accepted to our first local pop-up that we'll be doing here in Nevada. Here's what the craft room looks like right now. I have a few things in here ready to set up my tables, which are still kind of wrapped up, and a few other things in here. Most of my boxes are outside of the room, so I have space to set up the tables and stuff. So I'm gonna keep that clear for now. And then here's what the inside of the closet is gonna look like. So I used to have this shelving set outside of the closet, but then I figure it would help to make more space if it's in there. I usually keep it for fabrics anyways, so that'll be fine. And we'll figure out what else will go in the closet later. And I have several of these big Home Depot boxes like outside of the room to empty out still. So we're gonna start with the tables. And I have this table here. This was my fabric cutting table and my everything else table. It's probably gonna be set up somewhere here, kind of sticking out like this. And then my long table, which I used as a sewing table and of my jewelry making table, I'm gonna have that here along the wall so that I can get the natural lighting from the window as I sew over here. And there's my sewing machine and serger on the ground. On this wall, I'm planning to do my shelf and maybe in the future another shelf. But for right now, just that single shelf. This is my dress form. It's just boxed up right now. And yeah. So that's the plans for today. One thing I wanted to share that I love so much better than our old craft room is that our carpets are gray, and it's like a nice light gray. Our old carpets were like a brown, like a kind of ugly, dirty looking brown. I want to eventually have a room without carpets, but for right now, this is already an upgrade from the last room, having a light gray, clean looking carpet. Here's a new update of how our room is looking right now. So I kind of changed my mind again. Instead of lining up our long table underneath the window, I decided to pull it out this way. And my cutting table is just kind of lined up with it. Instead of putting the pegboards on this wall, we decided to move them onto this wall because my husband was having a hard time drilling or putting the anchor into this wall. He said he thinks there's something hard in between or in this wall, which is our shared wall with our neighbor anyway. So maybe there's like a firewall or something, I don't know. So we decided to put the pegboards there and on that wall. later. Later we'll put those other 2 pegboards up onto this wall to make better use of them. And then we moved the shelf to this corner for now, which is okay because it's next to the closet. And yeah, this is the side by the door. Really nothing so far. And yeah, that's how it's looking. Good morning. Here's a tiny little update. This video is probably going to be a lot later than I had originally intended. It's end of February and we still have several boxes unpacked. My closet is starting to get a little bit more filled. So there's so much more to do still. It's more about finding the motivation and the time to do it. But we'll get it done. Okay, it is March 1st, and here is another update of the craft room and how it's going. I feel like this is the prettiest and neatest part of the craft room right now. Everything else is still kind of messy. The good news is I'm pretty sure I've unpacked all my boxes, the many boxes it took to pack up everything I had in my old craft room. Another good news is pretty much, I'm gonna say majority, maybe like 98% of the fabric is put away. I do have some stuff still on the floor, so I need to find home for those things. And in my table setup right now, I just have kind of a clutter of, I don't know, just stuff that needs to be put away. I have to figure out how I can better utilize this or these 2 pegboards. Down here in the corner by the windows, and my shelf, which I'm thinking I'm going to eventually need a second one of these because the shelf alone is just not enough. It's not enough storage space. And especially because I can't put any wall shelves on this wall, I'm gonna need at least one more shelf here. And here's by the door, I have my hanger and just my ironing board right now. I put a little calendar on the wall. Oh, I should update that. That's March now. Up here in my closet, I just kind of am I'm taking my time so that I can put things away neatly. So I guess that's why it's taking so long. But yeah, here's the closet right now. I'll give a better look when we're like all done and I'm gonna do a tour. And my little collectibles, they're not on the wall shelf anymore. So they're just up on top of this shelf. I actually do have other things outside of the room that I still need to find a space for, mainly my products. For now, some of them will go on here. And then I do have some products in these containers. And I don't know where the others are going, but we'll see. Along with setting up our craft room, another important thing we had to do to get our business set up here was looking for local markets that we could participate in. This first local maker market group that we decided to check out is called Market in the Alley. When my husband and I finalized our decision on the move here to Nevada, I had already decided to start researching local markets and pop-ups that we could participate in once we finally moved in. Market in the Alley was one of the ones that we were most interested in, so we really wanted to check them out in person. My husband and I both love the vibe of the market, and it's one that we're really interested in participating in. Hopefully we can get into one of them, or more. The 702 market was also another market that we saw online and were interested in checking out. It seemed like a very busy market and it had a good amount of traffic throughout, but it also seemed more like a market for resale vendors than handmade vendors. We did think it was cool to have so many food trucks in the event though. We might come back again to enjoy it as customers, but maybe not as vendors. Back at home, I decided that I wanted to try for a market in the alley pop-up. So I went on their website and checked out some of their events and locations and filled out some forms. I decided that I wasn't interested in participating in any of the 702 markets, but I did find another market that I was interested in applying for, even though we didn't see them in person. It's called the Makers Market Hive and they pop up in multiple states, including Nevada. So after looking through their website, I decided to apply for some of their events too. Okay, now back to the craft room. I just got some great news that we just got accepted to our first local pop-up that we'll be doing here in Nevada. Yay! The pop-up that we're doing is called Market in the Alley, and they do several locations in Henderson and in Las Vegas area, but our first one will be at a place called Green Valley Ranch, and it's one of the places that we actually visited when we were checking out some of the local pop-ups here. So I want to share this really cool new thing that I got for my craft room. Just an added storage organizer that I wanted to do for my inventory. Usually I keep everything, not everything, but a lot of my inventory on this shelf. And I love this shelf so much, I eventually want to get a second one. But right now I'm holding a lot of like my scrunchies and my wristlets on these acrylic stands, which I actually got when I was in a consignment boutique for displaying the scrunchies. So I bought a whole bunch of them because I had like 3 shelves. I'll try to insert something of the boutique, but after I left the boutique, I was left with all these acrylic stands, and you know, I didn't want to waste them, so I just used them to organize my stuff. I don't know if you can see it from that angle. All my wristlets and my scrunchies, I just kind of keep them stacked, but I feel like it takes up way more room than it needs to. And sometimes it can be kind of a pain to take them off and put them back on. So I was originally looking for, I saw some people online had like a stackable containers, like small stackable containers, where you could just easily grab and put things in. But I needed kind of a weird size. So as I was looking, I found something a little better. So let me show you what I'm gonna use now. Ta-da! So I found this on Amazon while I was trying to look for those smaller stackable shelves. I found this one. And I love it so much because it's still a stackable container. Let me show you. So all of them can separate into individual pieces, but you can also stack them up. And you can also fold this. So when I got it, the cover was separated and these pieces were all folded in. So it's foldable and the doors open like this, and they close like a magnet. I saw some reviews that said that theirs wasn't working, so I was kind of worried I was gonna end up with one that didn't have a good magnet, but thankfully the ones I ordered or I got in the mail all have really good magnets. This is an empty hole, but yeah. And so I'm thinking a lot of my scrunchies, the variety of scrunchies that I have, are gonna go in here. And when I make a little bit more to invest into my craft room, I can get another tier to stack on. But yeah, I love this so far. So let's fill it up. I also have this thing, this plastic drawer. I've been using it, well, since we moved here, just to store inventory, which will eventually get moved out. But this actually is for when I do pop-ups. And when I have backstock, I like to keep them in the drawers so that it's easy for me to access, put it away, and it's kept clean from all the, sometimes when I'm in like an outside event, things get dusty and dirty. So it's always nice for things to be protected. Yeah, so it's not replacing this. I don't want to travel with this one because I feel like it's not durable enough to go in and out of the car all the time. But this one will just be for the pop-ups and markets, and then this guy is gonna be for in the craft room. Before we do that, let me just show you how I've been using our shelf here thus far since I've kind of got the craft room set up. I've just been using it like how I did in our old craft room mostly. Our inventory's in here. I put a bunch of cut fabric, pre-cut fabric down here, and here's some of my unfinished projects that I still need to get to. And then some of my headbands, book sleeves / cozies, some gift sets and zipper pouches or boxy pouches down there. And yeah, so we're going to reorganize this, and hopefully I can use this more for like more of my ongoing projects rather than my finished inventory. Yeah. Oh, and up here, my cute little collectibles. The only problem is now that I won't be using these, I'm just gonna have a bunch of these acrylic stands left over. And I've been thinking about whether or not I want to sell them, but I think I'm gonna keep them for now because sometimes I do use them in pop-ups when I need more display stand thingies. And I'm also thinking that eventually I do want to do a consignment opportunity again, be in a shop or boutique again. So I'm gonna keep them if in the case I can use them again. I think I just need to kind of take them apart so they take up less space. So here's how I decided I'm going to use the stackables. I originally had the key wristlets in there, but I changed my mind. I think I'm gonna leave the key wristlets out here until I get more of those shelves. But for now, I have my XL scrunchies in here, the satin and velvet ones. I think can fit in one container, and then all my microfiber towel ones in here. And then in the bottom, I'm going to be keeping the petite scrunchies and my regular size scrunchies. And yeah, and hopefully I can get another set of 3. It'll probably be about this tall because right now it's just on top of my travel drawers thing. And yeah, so I decided to keep out 4 of our acrylic stands out for the key wristlets. And then I just took apart the rest of them. Looks like this, to find like a big bag maybe to put them in and store them in our closet somewhere in there. And yeah, I did actually end up ordering a second set of these 3 because I love it so much. I hope the quality is the same as this first one that I got, because I do have a bunch of other scrunchies and stuff that I want to put away, and the 3 is not enough. Look, this is not even like all of my XLs. This is just the velvet ones. Like, I don't have any space for the satin ones, so they're not even put away yet. My microfiber towel scrunchies take up its own container, and then I just put the petites and the regulars in here for now. And I actually don't even have that much made of these ones. So yeah. I need one separate for the satin scrunchies, my satin XLs. And then I think I want to put my headbands in one of the containers because I don't really like them out like this. And then maybe I'll put like the book and Kindle cases or sleeves in one of those. I don't know, we'll see. The boxy pouches, the cosmetic bags will probably be on the shelves still because they're kind of big and it makes more sense. But once that's in those containers, then for like these other 2, I can just put like, I guess, my working projects, and then also my jewelry backstock needs a space. So yeah, we'll have to figure that out. Hey, thanks to same day shipping and there being a like giant Amazon warehouse here, we got the package in the afternoon after I ordered it. So I'm gonna open it up and we're gonna have another 3 tiers of that. Yay! Good. This is the top. Break it down and transport it somewhere. Comes or folds in so nicely. So I'm gonna wipe it down, but then just put the cover on like this. Come on. One of them looks like door magnet. Yay! And then I can just stack this on that. All right, let's build the rest. now a 6-tier shelf. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think I'm gonna face it the other way, like that way. There it is. It looks so good. So excited to use it. I have to wipe down the insides. It's what I did with the first 3 that I got. It's March 15 and I think the craft room is just about done. So it's time for our big reveal. Ta-da! Here she is. I'd say she's about 90% set up. Let me give you a tour of everything. So here's the front of the room where the door is. I've just got my tote bags hanging on the door for now. A little calendar, and there's my closet. Let me show you a little bit more of our closet. So I wish there was a light in here. Maybe I can put one of those like wall lights eventually in here. So here's what up top of the closet looks like. There's just a whole bunch of stuff up there. And then down low, let's start with this corner. So I put all our like market bags back here. I've just got them hung on these thingies, these little hook things. And then this is the dress I made that I still haven't done anything with. It's just living in here as inspiration, I guess, for when I finally want to try dressmaking again. My ironing board. And then down here, it looks like a pile of stuff, but it's kind of organized. I've got my macrame cords in there, and then my vinyls for my cosmetic pouches, and then a few other things down there. Then on top here, if you can see, if you watched my old craft room videos, this used to be like outside, but now I decided to keep it in the closet, which I kind of like because it gives me more space in the room. And so I decided to use it just for fabrics now. So all my fabrics I was able to fit in here. It's not like super nice, but it's pretty organized. Let me show you from the other side. Here's what it looks like from this side. All my fabrics and the towels. And then on this side, I have, oh, these are my extra mystery bags from the last time. I didn't want to unpack them. My little paper organizer thing. Yeah. And there's up top. And here's one of my favorite things about the craft room is my little shelf here. Eventually, I want to get 2 of these shelves. So I'll have one of them here and then another one here. And then this stackable shelf. But for now, we're kind of tight on funds because of the move. So I could only afford to have this, which I actually really love. So originally I wanted to get those like stacking containers to like put on these shelves, but then I saw this thing and I just love it so much. So this is a stackable, I think it's called a stackable container, and if you saw me building it earlier, it's foldable. So right now I'm using it to store my scrunchies, the different variety of scrunchies I keep, and then down here, these are the headbands, my headbands. Well, I don't have that wall shelf that I used to have anymore. I let my son use it for his desk area. So My little collectibles that used to be on that wall shelf are now all up here. Oh my goodness. So one thing about Las Vegas, we go to Las Vegas a lot because it's right next to Henderson, right? We go to so many of those claw places, like those little shops that are like just for claws and getting stuffies from claw machines. So we have so many of these. I got these two, this one and this one. This I already had, but and my sons have so many also. And then my little unicorno collection with my little Harry Potters. I have actually a lot of these. I got them from like a Funko Christmas advent calendar thingy. But I just put the little main crew here and Malfoy. And I got this from a student when I was still a 6th grade teacher. It's a little Hagrid. So keep him here with the crew. And then my Spy X Family minis and Caroby. And then down here, so I decided I'd try to put maybe like my jewelry inventory in here. Eventually, when I have the second shelf, I want to dedicate one full shelf to jewelry, and then the other shelf would be my like sewn accessories. So, but right now I can only leave just one part of the shelf for my jewelry. So on here I have this little container of my earrings, and then another container with my charms and anklets. And then these are my bracelets in here in this little stackable shelf organizer thing. And then empty jewelry boxes. And then down below, I'm keeping the key wristlets on those stands for now. And I also have these gift sets. And then in the row down here, I'm keeping some zipper pouches, the Kindle sleeves / cozies and book sleeves. I have 3 boxy pouches made, so just keeping that there, and this one, the iPad one. And then on the very bottom shelf, I'm just keeping my pre-cut fabrics. And then over here is like my unfinished projects that I don't know, I just stopped doing. I need to get back to it one day. And yeah, so that's the shelf. And next to the shelving space, I have this little corner, which right now is just being used for the rolling cart. And that also just has kind of a bunch of random things in it. Sorry, I'm trying to get a better angle of the table. So I decided this time to kind of it took me a while to figure out how I wanted to do the tables, and I decided I wanted to put the tables here, kind of like in the middle of the room. That way I have a lot of extra room around, which I think I like. And because I only have one window this time, I'm really relying on the lighting from here. So I'm thinking this long table is still going to be my main sewing table. And then on this corner would be where I would continue to do my jewelry stuff. And then I have my little organizer that I love so much. I think I shared before, if you watched in my older videos, that this is from, oh my god, what is that place called? The Container Store. The Container Store. This is from the Container Store. It's so great. I use it to keep my beads and my little gemstones. All of that's in here. So this is 4 separate ones, I think. I feel like I bought it all separately. I mean, maybe I could have bought it in a pair. No, I don't know. I'm not sure. I feel like it was all 4 separate ones. I think so. I'm not sure. Okay, well, anyways, And then up here I have these two little containers. They're from Miniso. And this little spinny thingy for my jewelry making tools. And then up here, I haven't decided how to fully use this pegboard yet. I want to kind of keep it dedicated to my jewelry making stuff, so we'll see. And then I have a pegboard up here. I might as well show you the pegboards. So I have 4 pegboards this time. I have this one and that one. And then on that side, I have 2 pegboards. Better look at the pegboard wall over here. So I'm using it a little bit differently from how I did in Kansas City in my old craft room. I put the picture shelf up here with all of the little art pieces that I purchased from different local artists in Kansas City. And then down here, my pegboards. I have 2 here now. They're being used as mainly for my sewing accessories. So I have a lot of thread in these little containers, and then my scissors, and then my rulers, cutter over there. So I like this because I can just pull them out to get the threading that I need, but also it keeps them from getting dusty. So I've seen people have displays where the thread is just out, but if you're not using that color often, you know, it's just sitting there and it does collect dust. So I do like that they're in these containers. The only thing is the wall's a little angled, and if this wall shakes or, you know, like there's a lot of movement for some reason on the wall, I don't know, they do slip out. So yeah, just to be careful about that. I also have my rulers here, which I used to keep on the wall. Like I used to just put a thumbtack in my old craft room. I put a thumbtack on the wall and then I hooked them on, but I decided, I don't know, to keep them here. I had this like big gap anyways, so I figured I'll just hang all my like measuring tools over here. And then here's how I'm using these pegboards right now. So this one's kind of random. It's my little duster things here from Daiso. So this blue pegboard, I'm thinking I'm gonna keep it for like packaging things. So my little labels, and these are the custom ones I got for like my necklaces, my jewelry pieces, tags and stuff like that. Stickers that I use for packaging. And then I got these at Daiso. They're so cute. They're like little cards that I'm using as like notes. You know, like thank you notes when people purchase from me online. And yeah, that's that board. And then like I said earlier, eventually I'm going to use this just for jewelry. Like I'm thinking about if I want to continue doing something like this for like the bracelets that I make, like the ones that don't have to really be stored, like to keep them here. These are my kids' bracelets or children's bracelets. Yeah. And then the big table is still going to be kind of my everything table, my cutting table and etc. When I go on my computer and stuff, I usually use this part of the table. And then I move this, this is a self-healing mat. So it's a little like bended right now or kind of warped. Let me see if you can see from this side that this side is like rising. It was actually worse before. I had to put something heavy on it because I've been putting it vertically while I was using this table space. So it's fine though. It'll go back down eventually. On this side of the table, this is going to be my main sewing corner. I think I haven't sewn anything yet since we moved here. So I really hope my sewing machine is okay. I don't know. I haven't tried it out yet. Hopefully it didn't get shaked up during the long drive. And then actually down here is my serger. I haven't even unpacked it yet. So also hoping that thing is okay. And then in this corner is where I'm gonna put my dress form. that's what's in the box right now. We broke it down and just packed it away in its old box that thankfully my husband didn't throw out. He kept it in the garage. So eventually when I have time to build it, it's gonna go here. Okay, so here's up top, and then if you go down, it's almost like I'm just hiding all the mess down here, to be honest. So here's the plastic drawers that we've been bringing to our markets. It's what I used to have backstock. Right now it's mostly empty because I took everything out and put it in there, in my new stackable shelf, except for like my hair claws are down there. Not sure if I'll constantly leave it empty or if I'll just keep it filled up with the market stuff. Well, we'll see. And then on this side, I don't know, far back there, I don't know if you can tell, all the way in the back, that's my ironing board. And then I have my acrylic cases that I usually bring to transport my jewelry displays. And then a couple other containers of all kinds of random stuff just underneath the table. So it's just kind of hiding away everything, which is fine because I don't really go down here. But once you're up top and you're just like at this level, you can't see anything anyways, and it looks great. And then down here, so this is an IKEA table set. So you probably, if you've shopped at IKEA, you've probably seen something like this for the desk places. So this is movable, so I can decide where I want to place it. So I decided to keep it here along the wall. So it's kind of like out of the way, I guess. But I'm pretty much using it the same way. Here's an insert I also purchased at IKEA to keep the shelves a little bit more organized. Well, not all of them. Some of them are just messy. But yeah, this is like just all ribbons and zippers and stuff. And yeah, down here's all my like plastic baggies that I use for like packaging, thank you cards, etc. Oh, here's another angle of underneath the table. Here's what it's looking like. Kind of a big mess. Thanks so much for watching this vlog. See you in the next one.